Wednesday is our final chapter in the 1908 Griffith series. I also very much want to call your attention to the Sine Nomine program, which is our program of unidentified fragments. We canvassed archives from all over the world, asking them for their fragments, that hoping that we can identify them, our audience can identify them. Last year's program, we did, I believe, 12 out of 14 films that were fully identified. Maybe this year we can beat that record. Today's unidentified fragments come from our friends at the Filmoteca Española, and they're lovely. So hopefully somebody's going to be able to find out what they are. Those two fragments are preceding the main program at 10 a.m., which is Sidney Chaplin, Charlie Chaplin's older half-brother, an actor who I'm particularly fond of. If those of you who are here and saw Oh, What a Nurse, you know exactly why. And today we have a little bit of fluff. A feature film from 1928 that he made in England with the great British star Betty Balfour. In the afternoon at 2:30, there's Die Dame mit die Maske, which is a marvelous German film from 1928, directed by Wilhelm Thiele. It's a film that very much criticizes the male gaze. So one could say that it's very much in the zeitgeist of today. It's surprisingly feminist. I do also want to point out that Jan Christopher Horak has just written the first ever monograph on Thiele, a fascinating subject, a terrific director, and well worth your seeing, also with Frank Bocchius and Gunther Buchwald performing. In the afternoon, there's Jane Gaines delivering the Jonathan Dennis Memorial Lecture, The History of Cinema Without Men, which I believe is probably slightly based on the best-selling book from a few years ago, The History of Art Without Men. Jane, of course, knows full well you can't completely dismiss an entire gender, but I do know that what she'll be talking about is how the contribution of women to early cinema has been so devalued over the decades, and it's thanks to Jane and similar historians like her that we've been able to change that narrative and correct the narrative. The evening is a program that I'm particularly proud of. I know I've said that before, but in this case, I have to say it really is true. It's pushing the anti-war theme that I believe you'll find woven throughout the program. So it starts with the German retreat and Battle of Arras, a 1917 documentary shot for the British forces, or by the British forces, one could say, thanks to the restoration of the Imperial War Museum. It's a documentary that's similar in some ways to others that you might be more familiar with, like the Battle of the Somme, but this is a film that goes further, I would say, into life in the trenches, and so makes a very impactful look at the price of war. We have a score by Laura Rossi for 10 musicians and 16 chorus members. The songs that they'll be singing are ones that Laura composed, based more or less on the poetry written by soldiers in the First World War. So a really extraordinary evening, but that's immediately followed by Palestine, a revised narrative. This is a half-hour montage of footage, newsreels, you could say, propaganda footage shot by the British in Palestine during the First World War that includes footage of Gaza being bombed in 1917. This is a program that was commissioned by Al-Film, the Arab Film Festival in Berlin. I approached them several years ago, 2 years ago, telling them there's footage existing at the Imperial War Museum and something needs to be done with it. So they contacted the Lebanese composer and musician Cynthia Zaven. Cynthia edited down 77 newsreels to create this extraordinary montage. She worked together with the leading sound designer of the Arab world, Rana Eid. Every major film production from the Arab world and many, many independent features always have her credit on them. Together they've created this extraordinary soundscape whose power lies not just in the images that we're seeing, the sounds that we're hearing, but also its relevance to what's happening in Gaza now. So there's going to be a lot to discuss. I hope that you find me after the screening and also in the coming days, because I'd love to talk to you about it. See you tomorrow.